Welcome back to the Stoop, football fans. It's your boy Lolo. I'm back in the basement in Brooklyn on another Friday night. A sad Friday night for a lot of Reds out there in the world. Not this color red, different color red. For them Liverpool Reds, them Scousers, those bin dippers. They are losing their manager at the end of the season. And all joking aside, sad day. One of the best managers in the world, maybe of all time, is going to be stepping away. And he says he's going to be stepping away from football for at least a year or so. But he says he will never come to England, never come back to a different club in England. So that's a interesting turn of events. I don't think anybody thought we would wake up to that news today. So to you, Mr. Klopp, Mr. Gegenpressen, cheers to you. I'm still off the beers, so doing my tequila soda, but I got the sound, and cheers to you, Klopp. Sorry, Liverpool fans, and sorry to the rest of the league, because I think this is another nasty little trick to galvanize a not quite set galvanized Liverpool team who is not playing at their best and has still only lost one game due to a VAR decision. Think about that. If you thought Klopp wasn't going for the quadruple, though it's the quadruple lesser with the Europa League instead of the Champions League, I think these could be some tricks. I don't know. Let's get to these comments. First and foremost, we had Pincushion in the house. Very good to see you, Pincushion. John, Loof, Garside, Leeds fans all in the house. They must be happy. The only team in the EFL, like 72 teams or so, that remains undefeated at home. Well done, Leeds United. Keep that going. Anders member for 33 months. Champion right there. Champion. Yes. Scooby D2, good to see you as well. How do? Lonzo, good to see you, my man. You got to get back on the show sometime. Mr. Tom as well. We got you backstage. Good evening, everybody. BxGunner. Nice to see you here. Bono as well. Roll on. Stay safe. Yes, sir. Why no beer? A diet weight loss thing? Yes, sir. I'm getting back to that. You guys possibly remember a year or two back when I shrunk down and then I blew back up. And if you would like to just watch our entire catalog of happy hours, you will see Lolo go from a ball to skinny, back to a ball. And now I'm trying to go back to a little bit of skinny. So we'll see. First things first, cut out the beer and cut out all the extra bread and eating all of my kids' snack foods after happy hour. So there's that. Anyway, Lonzo, yeah, let me I'll open up those Twitter DMs and see if I can spot you in there, and I'll get you the link. Would love to have you on the show. So what do you guys all think about? What are we all thinking about Klopp exiting the way that he's exiting, doing it mid-season? I mean, he's not exiting mid-season, but he is bringing all this up mid-season and stating for a fact that he is not going to be returning no matter what happens. So that is absolutely crazy. What do you guys think about that? And I'm going to ask, what do my panelists think about that? So let's bring on my lovely co-host, Mr. Mark.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I tell you, I'm used to having my phone kind of blowing up in the early hours of the morning. Obviously a lot of those in England and in Europe are getting the news before us because we are soundly tucked into our beds with dreams of God knows what we dream about. We dream about football. And I finally just like, well, something is happening, and I thought maybe you had posted the YouTube link early. You were feeling ambitious. The kids woke you up early and then they went back to bed and you're like, I'm up, I'll do something. But then, to see these words saying that I am going to quit at the end of the season. It is mind blowing. You just see, I see Klopp as someone that's just going to be around forever. You know?
Yeah. Oh, Mark, you know what's the scariest thing for me is when I woke up and I saw that, immediately I start looking for like bends in the face and like too smooth a skin, because I was like, this is AI. This is 100% AI. It's
Yeah.
weird how he's saying it. Who says I have to say something? I will leave. And you're like, wait, what? Nobody talks like that. Like, come on. But he's gegenpressing his emotions, and he's like, I will
Here's how
leave.
you know. Here's how you know it's Klopp, by the overuse of the word obviously. Well, you know, heading into the
Obviously.
season, obviously we wanted to do the things that we wanted to do, but obviously we can't always do it. That's how
Yeah.
you know it was him. But quite the shock. There was a part of me that, you know, was thinking that it was, you know, kind of a gamesmanship, as you might have thought. And then at the end of the year, when they win the league, it'll be like, I was just kidding. Lighting
Yeah.
a fire under my team's ass.
Well,
But
listen, I know you wouldn't remember this, but Fergie did that.
yes.
Sir Alex Ferguson came out and said that he was leaving Manchester United at the end of the season. They had a terrible season, and then he stayed on for nearly a decade.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know where you're at. And then like they won the championship, and then he
Well,
bounced.
then they started doing better and better, but like it was a bit of a fuck this, I'm out of here. But it is something that makes me think the players might have known this already, because they've been like disorganized in a way that shows that they're in a rebuild, yet they've been working their asses off and nobody's it doesn't seem like there's any griping and complaining and anything like that. And we keep saying Liverpool is underperforming. Well,
Right.
they're top of the league. They've lost that one game due to VAR.
And I actually want to bring that up, but since you mentioned it, I want to revisit that. So if they finish the season with that one loss, will they be known as the Invarcibles?
That is awesome, Mark. I was like, so I had a billion things in my head ready to be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No, Mark, no, Mark, no, Mark. And then I'm like, no, yeah, that is a pretty great name.
They become the Invarcibles.
They're not the Invincible. They're the Invarcibles.
They'll be the Invarcibles.
Perfect.
But I tell you, there's so many things that ran through my head this morning. You know, one was, you know, is this a bit of gamemanship to light a fire under a team that might be losing, you know, their strikers in Salah for the next 2 months? Is there something afoot that we don't know? Is there some sort of like FFP that he doesn't want? He's like, yeah, I want to dip out of here because we're going to get fucked. Or is it a case like it was when he was with Dortmund, where he was like, you know, I'm going to quit and I'm tired and I don't have the fight, and then the next year he's with another club.
Yeah, and that's what that's what Liverpool fans are a little afraid of. But I think, I don't know, I feel like it's different. And honestly, after the AI thought, I immediately went to, fuck, he's sick. Like,
oh yeah, I thought about that too.
There's something
about that too. Like maybe
because
him
he
or
looked
his wife.
a little too emotional. I mean, it's a super emotional thing, but it doesn't seem like he really wants to. It seems like he's tired. He's fucking tired.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it just, he's, for me, something has to be up in one form or the other, no matter how, you know, whatever direction you want to take it. But he's 54 years old, and in coaching terms, that's really young.
Yeah,
to be burnt out. You know.
Yeah. Well, then it comes down to the last thing that I think it could possibly be, if we're looking at conspiracy type theories. The last thing is, he said, if there was ever cameras following us around in the locker rooms, fly on the wall, all of that, I'll quit. And I think next year Amazon wants to do Liverpool for their the series.
Sure.
And so there's a little tie to that of like,
interesting angle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's bring on an outsider perspective, looking from the championship in, yet looking with a much deeper knowledge than Mark and I have of Premier League history and football history in general. It is the endless database that is full of nonsense. It's Mr. Tom, everybody. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Greetings, my American
overlords. I cannot see or hear you, so I'm gonna. Mark, do you see him? Do you hear him?
I see him just fine in that very garish Leeds third kit.
Okay, well, I do not, so I'm sorry about that.
You
two talk amongst yourselves. I'll refresh the page because this happens sometimes.
Fantastic.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm verklempt. Here's the topic: Tom Cruise or Tom Brady? Who fits in your mother's shoe?
Wow.
Well, I don't know. That's incredibly hard to follow up on. But Mr. Tom, hello. How are you? Always a pleasure. Your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp? What are your thoughts?
I was surprised by it. The timing of it. I understand it. It's he's now created a vibe where it's a hide into nothing. If he doesn't get the title again, it doesn't matter because he's gone at the end of the season. And if he does, it will be pointed back to, it could be like this moment where he's galvanized and like, do it for the Klopper or whatever.
Oh, do it for the Klopper. In fact, that'll be my second half of the season TV show. It will be for the Klopper with Bonnie Mark. Talking about all things relegation in honor of the unrelegated one. It was it was ridiculously surprising, and I honestly was hoping, Mr. Tom, that you would come on the show and make it known that Leeds United has actually approached Mr. Klopp in hopes that he will become the next manager.
He ain't Leeds caliber. We've already got a German, all right? So fuck him.
No, fark him. We're gonna say fark him.
Exactly. Nah, we've already won 5 games this year, so
that's it. We're done. We're good.
Probably hit our yearly quota if I'm being honest, but we'll try and enjoy the rest of it. Yeah, so good luck to him and all this. Yeah.
I see that I didn't watch the last game, but I've been reading, obviously, in the fine championship form that Patrick Bamford has been in.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I get the feeling that it's obvious he's a confidence player. Once something actually goes right for him, you have to kind of ride the wave of him doing well until he doesn't.
Right.
And then the opposite happens, where if he has no confidence, then nothing goes well.
Right.
So like for example, Mark, I think he would have scored the penalty on Sunday.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we switch from Klopp to Leeds so seamlessly?
Leeds are more important than Liverpool and Klopp.
So bringing it back to an Arsenal fan, Alonso became a new YouTube member. One of our first new members in a while. We got all of our older members holding down the fort, but glad to see a new member. If you want to be a member of the Stoop crew, please click that button right down below and hit that. Show us a little bit of love. Feel free to throw some tips out. Make us drink more. We have to drink every time you give us a tip. So it could be that kind of show if that's what you want. But thank you so much, Alonso. And I sent you the link in the Twitter X something. I don't know. But also, for anybody else who's in the audience, if you guys want to be on the show, hit us up. It's happy hour. Doors are open. Let's go. Let's drink. Mr. Tom, I wanted to get into Leeds United stuff a little bit later, but there's one word that you texted out this week, and it's just one of these things like an ear, what are they called? Earworms?
Yeah.
like a song that gets stuck in your head. This word has been stuck in my head, and it is the word fearpoery. Fearpoery. If you don't know what fearpoery is, this is fearpoery. Currently, right now, we are in. Let me spell it out for everybody.
It's a 59-day holiday where he's amazing at football.
We are in fearpoery. Is that how you spell it?
I would have put a U in there. Hang on.
A U.
I
had
like
the U
it
at first.
I like it the way Lolo has it spelt there, because when you had the U and it was all one continuary word, I was just like, I have no idea. I have no idea what is being said here.
Pincushion member for 23 months. Yes, sir. That is nearly 2 years, Mark. Can you believe that?
I think we need since we're going to start getting these more often, I think we need a bell. We just ring the
ding,
bell
ding, ding.
in
yeah,
celebration.
because we had Anders here for 33
Anders
months.
for 33.
We're talking 3 years.
That's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Alonzo's a new member, and Pincushion for nearly 2 years. Speaking of Alonzo, let's bring him on stage. And of course my computer brings up just the black screen, so I'm sure you guys can hear him and see him, but I may need to do the whole reboot
Unfortunately,
thing.
yeah, I can see him. Yeah.
What's up, Alonzo? Before I refresh my screen, I might as well bring everybody out so I don't have to do it again. Gary, welcome to the show as well. Another just empty box that I
can't see you.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I can't see you either,
so
it's good.
So Alonzo and Gary, our resident Arsenal fans, welcome to the show. I see that you have the Alonzo, you have the roadmap Atlas kit on, which is rivaling up there with the Flamingo Land jersey that Mr. Tom is wearing. We had we were talking on the thread last week about the jerseys and who had the absolute worst jersey. And I think Chris had talked about, I don't know who he talked about, but he talked about a pretty bad one, but not to talk about poor jerseys, because really Man United's away jersey is the worst. But we're talking Jurgen Klopp here. Gary, Alonzo, what are your thoughts on this morning's news? It was an absolute shocker. We know this.
Well, for me, at the time, I think whenever Jurgen Klopp was leaving Dortmund, I wanted him in Arsenal. I thought that he kind of had a brand of football that I think any football fan would appreciate. And the story that he came from Dortmund to, I guess, rose him from a grave, so to speak, during that time was pretty incredible. As a football fan, I kind of appreciated it, rather. But when he got to Liverpool, I thought to myself, man, dude, this guy's going to be a powerhouse. This guy's going to change football for what Wenger did back in those days, right? So I thought that, when Liverpool, of course, going to take their time being the tower contenders that they would become, I thought, man, look out, man, this guy's going to change the league for the better. And he has. And when I woke up this morning to the news that Jurgen Klopp is not going to be here and coach for Liverpool anymore, I was shocked because he's still on the top of his game. They haven't declined, it seemed like. So, it's like when the like the Yankees, right? When they lost Torre, I think he went off in the high. Am I mistaken by that? Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, it's just when you say Torre, you're saying Joe Torre, right?
Right.
Immediately, I'm like, when did the Yankees get Yaya Torre? What?
Yeah, but
different place.
It's that kind of comparison, right? And so, it was shocking, but I mean, the guy has not only been good for Liverpool, but he's been good for the sport, especially in the Premier League. So I had no issues with him. I never had, though they're a rival now, but he's been good for everything. He's been everything good that's right in football. And for Liverpool to be on top of to win the league they did against a City team that's pretty good is. I mean, for them to win the Champions League and beat Tottenham was pretty cool too. But yeah, I mean, it's been a success story for Liverpool fans. So yeah, I mean, I wish him well. There's only 1 year in Klopp, and he's done good for Liverpool, I think.
No, man,
but,
I'm right there with you. When he left Dortmund, Dortmund is the team that I like in the Bundesliga. I wouldn't say I follow them hardcore at all, but I was a big fan of him over at Dortmund. And so when all of a sudden Premier League teams are looking at him, I was like, okay, it's time. But we still had Wenger, didn't we? At the it was like Wenger's last season or second to last season when Klopp came over.
I believe Arsenal still had Nike jersey. They had their first Puma kit, I think. So it was towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end. That was
2015,
sorry, put me back in those days. But yeah, I was like, I really want him. And then he went to Liverpool, and I was like mad that I was gonna have to hate him. And I found things to hate about him. But really, like, you're like, yeah, he's overzealous sometimes on the sideline. But to me, Klopp is one of these managers that, like, if you love football, you can't, I don't know, like, you can't really hate him. He has done incredible things. And if you're a Liverpool fan, like, start building the statue now. Like, build the statue and have it up ready for him, because he pulled Liverpool. Because he pulled Liverpool. Liverpool were in shambles. They were floundering about. They had no identity. They had lost everything that made Liverpool who they were. And he helped to rebuild their identity and give them an identity. They won a league and they won a Champions League.
And he's one of them.
And what did they do in those 20 years, though, after they won all the titles, won a bunch of titles?
Fuck all,
exactly.
But
so your club is floundering for 17 years. You get somebody who gives you some glory. He becomes a god. Am I right, Bielsa? I mean, Tom?
That's a bit different because we don't have 7,000 league titles.
Oh, I thought you were champions of the world. Champions of
we
Europe.
Are the champions of Europe, mate.
Yeah, come on. It's my show, Tom. I'm giving it to you.
Gary, what are your thoughts on Klopp's pending resignation?
Why you guys? That's the second story of the day. You know what the first story of the day is?
It's pretty much the first story of the day.
That is the second story of the day.
I'm not sure what the Trip is posting as their top show of the day,
but second story of the day. You know what? You know what happened today?
Agrees with me.
We have found that VAR can actually say, you know what, that is a goal, and you know what VAR can also do? It can say, guess what? We probably should replay that game because we screwed up.
Gary,
so,
Gary.
I'm just telling you. Yes, Klopp is 6 months out, but VAR just said, guess what? I can actually do maybe the right thing.
What was that in the Bundesliga or?
Yeah, I think Jens, I think is the team. So I think that's in that area over there, Germany, Australia.
Yeah, Anderlecht and Genk. Yeah. So in case you all didn't see this, Anderlecht and Genk match to be replayed in full after a VAR error. I believe one of the teams went on to win in like the 88th or 90 something minute, and VAR intervened. Whatever, they won, and then they've now reviewed it and said, no, that was fucked up. No, we're going to replay the match. Now, Gary, I don't know why you bring this up.
Because you guys said what you said. What was the big story of the day? I tell you the big story just because you don't like it.
Gary, you're an Arsenal fan. Gary, look at the consequences of what you're saying. The replay, the only replay in the Premier League that would happen would be Liverpool-Tottenham, which means either Tottenham wins again, or Liverpool wins and they're invincible.
You know what?
No,
Gary
let
thinking
it.
he's going to get his matches replayed when it's a result he doesn't
No,
know.
I'm just telling you
we
what
don't
happened
deserve
today.
anything.
I'm just telling you what you had today. I hear you. You're a homer. I get it. But yes, let's get into the Klopp thing. You know what? Everybody first.
No, wait. One other thing, Gary.
Nah.
This was big news too for us.
That's what
They
the
awarded
first thing I
Gabriel the goal.
mentioned. You
Yeah.
glossed over that and went to the second thing I said. You weren't even listening to me.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Why
All
is
right.
that
need to drink more.
important that he gets awarded a goal?
So you
That's
know what?
only important
It's
to
not
him. It
important.
doesn't matter to
Let's
you.
talk about Klopp because you know what? Klopp's important. He's the man of the hour, the man of the day, right? He'll be the man for the next 6 months. I heard a lot of people
Sure.
say that why did this information come out so soon? I have a feeling it was bound to come out because people can't keep their mouth shut. It sounds like it's been
Well, the fact that
like
they've
it sounds
kept
like
it shut for
sounds
3
like the
months.
teams sounds like the teams knew already. And guess what? Did their play look like it? No, they look like they're playing just the same way they were before they got the news. So you know what? This is what he's showing is basically, this is how you go out. Nothing changes just because I'm leaving. Nothing's changed. I'm still coaching the same way. You are still going to play the same way for me. You're going to play 90 minutes. I'm going to see this thing out. So I think it will be very, very, very scary for any team that plays Liverpool because they are playing for their manager who's on his way out, but they got nothing to lose, right? They got nothing to lose. Everybody thinks City's got to win it here. They think Real Madrid, they feel they should be able to win the Europe. In the Europe, they've got what they could go for you said quadruple, right? So they're in everything still. So they have a lot to play
Quadruple
for.
lesser.
So quadruple lesser, yeah. But like
Quadruple
they
minor.
they
B minor.
as he said, he's done a lot for that team, and he comes from the Dortmund, where you see Dortmund, they just consistently have been competing with Bayern. Gets to Liverpool, starts to grow a good team, has some really good players, and that loss to Real Madrid in the Champions League propelled them, and they continued on playing pretty well. Win the Champions League after that, and then they win the league, regardless of whether it's COVID or not. Everybody played under the same rules, so it wasn't like one team got a benefit out of it. Nobody. They all played the exact same way, right?
Except for Watford.
No.
They played by no rules when they beat the shit out of Liverpool that one day, and I was like, yes.
But I mean, he's had a solid team. He's one of the second or tied for first manager, if you want to call it that, based on what he's done with what he's had given to him, right? Anybody who competes with City should be commended for it, right? It's really hard to compete with the giant.
Yeah,
and they were able to get awards.
You talk like he often beat them, which he didn't.
Calm down, little man.
No.
But the Premier League isn't a playoff. The Premier League isn't a playoff. It's not a one.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
Now, when they scored 99 points and lost the league, then maybe it was a one-game fucking playoff where you should have beat City once.
They had a couple of games. They had enough games to get the points that they needed. They didn't do it. They didn't finish it off. Got to play all 38 matches, right?
But I was looking at that. Klopp got 99 points, 96 points, and 92 points, and won the league once.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Ferguson never hit 90.
Didn't they win during COVID, right? The COVID year, right? They won the league, right? Okay.
Yeah. They could have gone invincible, but Watford
took care of them, and I think we all know where we were that day.
Yeah, what is this?
Not really sure why, but
I remember. That's the only
I know where I was out shopping with the missus.
Mr. Tom,
phone.
Ian, Mr. Tom loves it.
Rude.
He loves it.
Rude.
He loves it. See, now he's cursing at me.
Why does he? Y'all mad?
Rude.
You're all right, Mr. Tom. I love you.
Why y'all mad, Tom? Look, I mean, Bono's on your side trying to bring it back to Bamford. Calvin Phillips, We'll get it. All right, fellas, let's go through. We actually did a tiny bit of pre-production today, so let's get to some of these memes that we saw. And by pre-production, I mean I texted some memes and said, Tom, text some more. And he did. So here we go. Jurgen Klopp had about a 24-minute interview. Where's Zoe? You're the only one hidden back there. None of these formats really work for us.
Go back to the first one.
Yeah, the
This
first
one.
either side.
That's the best.
Well, yeah,
one.
but Alonso's look. Oh,
Take
there he
down
is.
the
He's
logo.
up there. Okay, cool,
There you go.
cool. I
Yeah.
thought you were hidden down there on the bottom because this one I have
Well,
everybody.
put me
All
up
right,
there
perfect.
then, because I'll sit like this anyway, so it won't matter.
Okay, I'll put you up there. We'll keep Arsenal over here. So from this 24-minute clip of Jurgen Klopp retiring, there was tons of gold in there, and people have been making some funny shit out of it. So me at 11 p.m. on a night out, I love absolutely everything about this club. Me at 11:05 p.m. on a night out, I will leave the club.
Obviously.
I love it.
Obviously,
I
will leave the club.
This one was great because of Klopp's incessant bitching about the early starts, about the early games, and he's always bitching about that. He said, this guy says, I know it can't be, but his last game should absolutely be a 12:30 kickoff. Yeah. And along with that, oh, it's a different one. I love this guy, Man United fan, clearly. I would sack Ten Hag just because Klopp is leaving. Not to get Klopp or anything, just to sack Ten Hag. There's some good love there. And then we always got to hate on Tottenham a little bit. You have won a season ticket at Tottenham or large fries.
Large fries, man. You got your large fries.
Whichever
Extra
you
salt.
prefer.
Extra salt, please.
The Pep and Klopp era is coming to an end. It was special, as we see 5 out of 6 titles.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
This is
doesn't.
my
It still
point about
doesn't
it.
change anything, you know. I mean, I think the only way that things would change is that at the end of the season, if they did a retrospect of Klopp's Premier League career, and when it was over with, Klopp bitched about how unfair it was, and he wanted his entire Premier League career played over. Maybe things would change.
Yep.
Yeah, but Wenger beat Fergie at least 3 times.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? All right, this one, you got to know a bit about Steve Bruce to get these jokes. This joke here, it's a long one in there, but Steve Bruce makes just one change from the team that lost at Portman Road last time out, with Curtis Jones coming in for the injured Jake Livermore. Andy Carroll retains his place despite not finding the back of the net since his return to Anfield from Amiens 4 months ago. Yeah.
That's quite the
I
fall
don't-
from grace being forecast.
Yeah, I don't think Steve Bruce becomes the manager there. I don't know, maybe. This one, good old Simpsons
Mum!
one.
Dead! Logan's dead!
What?
That's right. Dead serious about leaving Liverpool at the end of the season.
Gosh. Oh my god. And this one, give us Paul Tierney in the final match of the season so Klopp can spear him through the advertising boards without repercussion. And you know it would happen. You know, I would like to see him like horse chomp him.
Right.
With a
You
big
know,
old
you
teeth.
mentioned start building that statue now. Which version of Klopp do we get? Do we get the pre or post?
Yeah, that one.
LASIK surgery.
I'll find it for you.
for Jurgen Klopp, and he's still wearing the hat. And is his teeth perfect or all kind of German fucked up? You know.
My favourite part of all that was how Lolo made the mistake of going onto WhatsApp and saying, does anyone have any memes? And my immediate thought was, young man, step into my office.
Yeah.
Oh, you want memes, bitch? I'll give you memes.
I was like, give me an hour.
You could just see him just grinning like the comic book guy from Simpsons.
Yes. Although he never grins, because nothing's ever good enough for him.
What was my favorite line from him? It was due to the fact that my breakfast burrito is congealing rapidly, I will be brief. I do remember that, Lolo, in our first season when you did what you put on the costume for Jurgen Klopp, and to have the super white teeth. you had gel whiteners, like Crest gel whiteners on.
Yeah.
And the segment, we did actually film a segment, and it was a good 5 to 10 minutes long. And when we were done, we cut and you ripped them out of your eyes, like, oh my God, my teeth are on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like bleaching my
It's
gums.
like, that's what they are. They're bleach strips, man. Crazy stuff that we can look upon. Pink Cushion or maybe Anders, you guys saw that in the history of your lengthy support of our channel.
Well, guys, so let's to end this whole Klopp situation topic, let me just ask you guys, do you think this is going to be harmful to Liverpool's season, the fact that he announced it mid-season, or do you think it's going to be a boost?
Nah. Players will be playing for places under a new manager.
Yeah. And since you brought it up, I mean, who is the replacement for a Klopp?
Well, that's the next question. Don't fucking
damn it! I didn't know. I don't have a script.
You didn't get the script?
I didn't get the script.
I texted it to Tom.
I don't think it. I actually no. I do say that his players, knowing now it's official, the fan base is going to come out. I mean, Anfield is going to be, if it was a fortress before, it's going to be. The atmosphere is going to be incredible. The players are going to throw all their support behind them. And I mean, man, they could easily just will, the league championship, the league trophy.
What one, Bono?
A myth.
I'll
have what
I'm going to call bullshit on this rumor.
Anytime you end breaking news with PS, fucking get me a cup of tea. I don't know if we can take the rest of what you said so seriously. Gary, Alonzo, what do we think? Is boost or a bust?
I think it's a boost. You've been playing for this man. A lot of these players have been playing for this manager for a while, and a lot of these players came in for a reason. They don't want to make. They want to go out in style, and they're set up to do exactly that. So why not? I mean, this is exactly where you want to be, top of the table, in every tournament, every cup you can get is out there, achievable for everybody, and the entire team will play for them. We've seen it, right? They were going to their academy, bringing on players who are getting enough out of them to get through games now. So, once they get all their guys back, if Salah gets healthy quickly, they seem to be churning wins out. All right, like I said, I think it'll be tough for all the teams that play them. Any fans that go, that might be the last time you see them, under the Liverpool umbrella. So those fans that get to see those games will be, making their voices heard. So I think it'll be tough for them. We'll see. Maybe they will wilt under it, but I don't think so. I think they've got enough experience on their side to kind of go through this. They've seen they know how it works. City is coming. All right, City is coming. So they know how that works. They've got. It will be good to see how this thing plays out.
PG as it went on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did not say anything that was. You guys have a dirty mind, and that's what.
Wait, you got to say that in a Klopp accent.
You say it.
Well, mine will immediately go to Arnold Schwarzenegger though, with from Pumping Iron. City are coming, and they're just coming, and they're coming, and they don't stop coming. Every time I'm like, I'm almost there. City, and then City are coming. City are just still coming.
we are sitting at the top of the table, and that's fine. But obviously City is a good team, and we will do the best that we can, because obviously we're going to do the best we can.
Yeah, and can we get more Sean Connery, please?
Just throw a bunch of obvious.
Come on.
Obvious.
I like that guy. Bring him back. Where is he?
No. I want to see.
No.
I want to see Gene Hackman version of. I want to hear Gene Hackman's Polish accent.
No.
Gene Hackman's Polish accent. Whoa.
Let's get
Did
Sean
Gene
first.
Hackman
Wait, what?
had-
Can we get James Bond? The old James Bond.
You're
Come
gonna
on.
need to text me those a few hours before the show so I can work on
Oh,
those.
okay.
That's a little deep. That's a deep cut.
Right. So,
Come on.
I
so
don't know if I can
Not
do that one.
Spaniard, Highlander, and all that. Come on.
so with my opinion on Liverpool doing better, I think they will do better. I think the players that are on current Liverpool side love Jurgen Klopp. They think they talk very highly of him. So I think they won't crash and burn. I think they'll do better, knowing from experience how City are behind them, and hopefully Arsenal are at some point chasing them as well. So to answer your question, Lolo, I think they'll do better. I think they got to play for Klopp. Klopp's an adoring figure at Liverpool. He's now a legend there, so I don't see this team crumbling at all. I think they're actually in it to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, so the next question then will be next season. There's a lot of talk about Xabi Alonso, who's doing a hell of a job over at Leverkusen. If they can see it through and continue what they're doing and win some trophies, will he be easily plied away to the Liverpool job? I know he's a Liverpool legend, so what do you guys think? Who's the next manager for Liverpool?
Just as long as it's not Gary O'Neill, for God's sake, please.
I don't think that guy is on their list.
You know what? Before he said this like 2-3 weeks ago, there's been press out there suggesting him moving to a higher calling, a la
But you got to remember, they
Potter.
just took Klopp from Dortmund, who competes with Bayern. Gary O'Neill's teams don't compete with anybody of notice. So I think you're taking a bigger step for that manager.
No, I'm just.
I
guess yes, I'm being facetious, Gary. It's true. It is true. I'm being sarcastic because we have gone through however many managers in 4 years. And it just would be very much the Wolves' luck to have something like that happen. I'm not sure who comes in. I mean, obviously, is a candidate. De Zerbi is a candidate. What about the chosen one to take over for the normal one?
Yeah, the chosen one, man.
Or who becomes that Potter guy that they just poach from somebody? Do they get Ange from Tottenham? Although he's doing pretty damn well there. Do they get I don't know. I've heard Steven Gerrard for that matter, but I don't think that's a
reactionary.
Good...
2 years
ago,
when Gerrard was doing well for Rangers, it was him. Now, because another former Liverpool player's doing well, everyone's saying it'll be him. And either way, whoever it is will probably be out of a job within a year because it won't be enough. And people will soon turn on him because that's the nature of humans and football fans and everything like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even think there's
Steven
a manager.
Gerrard was the saviour at Villa.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't think there's a manager in the mold or in the same scenario that I can think of as Klopp was when he was at Dortmund, in terms of just can't get over the hump because of the team ahead of him is just that well stacked, right? What manager is sitting kind of just below that, trophy line because the team in front of them is stacked, right? It's Klopp. He's that guy still, and he's won. So I think it's like you said. I don't think it's going to be easy for anybody who comes in here, but they will have enough players. Will they stay? That's the trick. Will they actually stay? Will Salah actually stay and not go and get the big money?
Right. And Salah's contract is up at the end of the season, right? And also Virgil van Dijk, his contract is up as well. You know, it's like that is the question that I kind of thought about when I kind of ruminated on this whole thing, was that, you know, okay, fine, he leaves, who takes the place, but then who stays and who goes? I mean,
they win the
who
quad,
wants
those
to
guys
go,
can leave
you
and make
know?
a
I
lot of money,
mean,
right? If they win
you
a
know,
triple, those
Darwin
guys should make
Nunez
good.
and Gakpo came in to play for Klopp, and here it is, you know, year and a half later, they're not playing for him anymore. You know, what's the incentive to stay? You're not guaranteed anything. You're not sure who you're going to get.
I have a question. Is Dirk Howe coaching anywhere right now?
Who?
Dirk Howe.
There's an answer to that.
The former winger who played for Liverpool when they were really good.
He's the manager
During the late
in the
2000s, mid
Belgium
2000s. So to me, he has a lot of knowledge as well. He played for Feyenoord for a long time as well, so he's very smart and he's very capable, I think, of coaching Liverpool as well. There are a lot of people who have association with Liverpool who've been successful coaches elsewhere. Joey Alonso being one of them as well. So it'd be intriguing to see who gets the job, and would the fans accept that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also guessing that maybe like Sam Allardyce is just hitting redial, just constantly.
He's checking his phone's charged.
Big Sam.
It will be a good job. You know, go ahead, Mr. Tom. Sorry.
No, go on. It's fine. Don't know.
Go ahead, Mr. Tom. Finish with
Right, I'll try it for the third time. To answer your question, Alonso, even though you interrupted me when I was trying to give you the fucking answer, excuse me. Dirk Howe is the manager of Belgium Challenger Pro League club Beerschot.
Maybe he's not ready then. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there.
No, it's fine.
You know, based on, you know, the time of the season that it is right now, in the US over here, there's been lots of talk of this one manager who is not actually with the club right now, and for some reason there's not a lot of interest in. And so I'm gonna say, why not Liverpool bring in one of the best football managers of all time? Bring in Darth Vader. Bring in Bill fucking Belichick. Bill Belichick, he's not doing anything. I'm sure he could do it. He would learn football in a summer and then would cheat his ass off. He'd probably be great. What do you guys think, Bill Belichick? He's not working right now, right?
He is available.
Nothing. Not a single comment.
I am actually taking a moment and posting that on Twitter. Dat goon Lolo wants Bill Belichick as the next Liverpool.
No, I actually don't, because he's evil enough that he'll find a way to make it work. That's the thing, is he's just a man manager. Like I'm sure Belichick would find a way to make it work. A manager's a manager. Tactics are tactics. He'll have a team.
Best player.
I don't think he ever expected Brady to be better than what he wanted Brady to be. He wanted Brady to just be a machine, a cog in a machine, and Brady was more than that.
So how many Super Bowls has he won since Brady left?
Brady without Belichick does not win that many Super Bowls. Belichick without Brady does not win that many Super Bowls either. So they're hand in hand.
One more Super Bowls without the other, though.
Neither. Oh, Tom Brady won.
I don't know enough about that.
Yeah, he won with Tampa, so yeah, he won. Yeah. He won. So yeah, Mr. Tom is correct. He won without.
Yeah, he did smash that narrative of being a system quarterback. I will be the first to admit that, because I was the first to scream it was you watch,
Yeah,
Brady will suck. And no, he didn't. I have to admit.
Now, of course, it's not like he walked into a crappy team. Tampa had been a team and trust me, NFC South fan over here. Tampa has been a team that has always, they've been so close, but their quarterback has let them down. So any decent quarterback could go in there and do a job. Now you get frickin' robot Super Bowl 100-time winner go in there. Yeah, of course he's better than somebody else. And then the Saints go and draft the fucking problem and bring him over. I hate NFL now. I can't even fucking watch it anymore. Anyway,
I actually tried watching a couple of playoff games this season, and I was appalled by the amount of commercials I was subjected to. I'd forgotten, but it seems like it's gotten worse because now you have the split screen where it shows like whatever's going on field during the timeout, and then it shows the commercial. But it was like literally, it's 4th down. They're gonna punt. Let's go to the commercial. All right. The snap is taken and the punt, and it's a touchback. Let's go to commercial. And it was like literally 15 seconds of playtime was met with 3 minutes of commercials. And I felt I was just like, this is just stupid. I can't do this anymore.
It's got so much bigger in America because people are realizing it's an easier watch.
Well, and we have schedules, you know, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you're a dad in New York, you should only watch Premier League football, or not even La Liga, because La Liga has later games. You should watch Premier League football because by about 1 o'clock, you've had an entire day of watching football. You've let your wife sleep in, so you watch the kids for the 7:30 a.m. games. You go out to the park, like, I'll take them to the park. I'm just going to bring my phone and the clip thing that clips to the stroller and, my Bluetooth. But I used to watch a full day of NFL football, which wouldn't start until like noon, 1 o'clock. And then it ends at like 11 p.m. And that was my younger days. I'd be a disaster.
So,
I was just going to say, case in point, I grew up as a kid out on the West Coast, where, things were earlier, but then when it came time for like the primetime games, those games were later. And, your parents would come in, you're watching Monday Night Football, and it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And, it's approaching, your parents want to put you to bed. You got school in the morning, whatever. And it would just be like, well, no. There's only 15 minutes left on the clock. Give me 15 minutes. And it'd be like, 45 minutes later. And it's like, I thought this game was going to be over in 15 minutes. It's 45. No. There's 7 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why you can't.
I love watching, English football or soccer across the world, whatever. Because I know when, hey, when are you starting dinner? Well, the game's going to be over in 20 minutes. I'll start it then. And the game will be over
in 30 minutes.
20 minutes.
Depending on who's winning.
Yeah, depending on stoppage time. But
depending on stoppage time, these days it's hard to predict. But, oh, man, it's so hard to predict those extra 7 minutes.
If Arsenal are losing at Luton, then you've got 30 minutes to wait when there's 20 minutes.
Oh, man, bring the hate on. Come on, hater.
It was Arteta time. Come on.
What?
Oh my God!
You heard
Arteta is the most hated, the most hated of all the officials. The fact that anyone thinks an official would give Arteta a second more of time is preposterous.
Damn right.
And I'll have none of it on this show.
Yes, sir.
Our viewership just dropped.
It actually did. What happened? It must have been the Bill Belichick talk. It was definitely your talk, Mark, not my screaming. that got everybody out. All right, so we are just a few minutes away from halftime, everybody. So we're done talking about Klopp. No more Klopp in the second half. Second half of this show, we are going to kick off with betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. And Mr. Tom, I don't know what you got for us. I don't know if you did midweek matches. I don't know if you're talking FA Cup tomorrow, but where I want to start talking after betting in the dark is I want to look into some of these FA Cup matches that we had today and a big one tomorrow with Leeds United, who play Preston North End.
Because
Plymouth.
Sunday
Plymouth.
against
Plymouth.
West Brom is not big at all.
Because you what?
Because West Brom Wolves on Sunday is not a big match at all.
I've never heard of those teams.
Fair enough.
Do they play rugby?
No, they play tiddlywinks.
Mark, please. I'm doing it for the crowd. They don't care about West Brom, Mark. They care about Leeds. Let's
the
keep the
Royal
17
Winking?
that we have here. All right. So, anybody, final comments about Jurgen Klopp before we throw him away in the
Who?
bin,
Klopp
so
who?
those bin dippers can dip him out the bin.
You'd think
All right.
he'd died the way the news went on about it today.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know,
I
I
mean-
think there's something to be said about what he has brought as far as like a character to the league. Case in point,
you go. There you go, Mark.
our good friend Dirty Chris out in Jersey, who is a Liverpool fan and should be on the show, but he's got kids to take care of. He's got an infant, but he had posted something that I died inside when I heard it, and someone had said I'm to another reporter, I'm suffering from brain fog, and Klopp says, why is it whenever I say that I get in trouble? And they're like, say what? And he says, brain fuck. And they're like, no. Brain fog. Brain fog. So forever forward, whenever I have a blank out, I'm just going to be, I just had a brain fuck. And
Sorry, I had a
that's
brain
the
fuck.
character that Jurgen Klopp is to me in the Premier League, because he's just, you never know what he's going to say. He does. He's kind of the master of plain speak, and I for one, as a neutral, will miss him dearly.
Well, he is the what is it? The ordinary one? Is that what he's called?
I think he was called the normal one after
normal
Jose was the special one.
Yeah.
I think he was the normal one. But it could be the ordinary. He could be the ordinarily normal one.
I forget which one. Tom is clicking away. He's clickety clopping away. He's trying to do it secretly, but I can see him. Googling. Nope, that's Alonso. Okay. Well, if nobody else has anything to say about Jurgen Klopp, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. And that was a deep cut from the back of my brain. This is from a Bush's Baked Beans advertisement. Wow. Anyway, we are going to take a quick 3-minute break. Mark, you got to make these videos a little bit longer because I don't have that much time. Us old men are going to go have a potty break, and we're going to show you guys some trivia for about 3 minutes, and then we will be back with Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. So this is halftime. Ooh, cheeky one. Fenerbahce. I think you're muted, Mark.
I think we should have had
There
some
was no
music on with that.
music. There was no music.
There was no music on that.
We heard
Yeah,
everything.
sorry. You heard everything we were saying.
Heard everything.
Okay, well,
I
good
didn't
thing
say
I
a goddamn
nothing.
thing.
Look, we got somebody over on Gary's channel. Because we are double streaming this, so go over to Gary's channel. Gary put the link there for your channel. Go give it a like as well. Yeah, because we now have that ability. We can stream on multiple channels at the same time. That's awesome. All right.
Has anyone, and when I say this, I ask if it's you, Lolo. Have you talked to Dave over at LFC chats, and what has he got to say about all this?
I sent him a message and said, "Hey, do you want to come on the show tonight and mourn your loss?" And he said, "I'm taking a week off," and with a crying emoji, and that's
Good
it.
on him, man. Good on him.
So yeah, the Liverpool fans are all staying in tonight. They're wrapped up in their snuggies, and they're watching some Hugh Grant movies, just calming themselves down a little bit. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for a little betting in the dark. Are you guys ready for that?
Yes, sir.
No,
I'm totally not ready for that.
And I am actually totally not ready for that either, because all the times that I rebooted seems to have bumped betting in the dark off of the stream.
Allow me.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
After that, I don't know where it is.
That's what I'm saying. Well. I wasn't ready. I was buying time. Because
you said it was in here.
Yeah, it was, and then I rebooted my page so many times. I don't know if that's what happened.
It shouldn't matter.
I have it here. I have it here. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Let's see.
Hey, look at us. Look at us cooking with gas.
All right. Let's hope this is from this week. All right. Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. Let's see what Director John wrote up here. We all love Leeds Sundays at 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. New York time. All right. Here we go.
Join at 10 p.m. if you want to catch the final 6 minutes of the show.
Okay.
It's actually 9 p.m.
Well,
it's fine. We'll let him off. He's a good man.
Well,
he's a good man.
I guess when they say no publicity is bad publicity, marking your show an hour later than it is might be bad publicity. All right. Let's get to it, Tom.
Okay. So we're going with an FA Cup special this week, because you get to see some teams you don't normally see. And I'm going with Ipswich to win 4-1 over Maidstone United. Maidstone's a great little story. They finished bottom of the National League last year. For context, that is the league that Wrexham got promoted from last year. I think they had a former Arsenal player as their manager. I'm forgetting his name. I think it was Kolo Toure, I believe was their manager. I could be wrong. He got sacked. They brought in, I think, George Elodie, whoever he is, and they're doing really well. I've gone for them to score the first goal in the game, because Ipswich have won the most points from losing positions this season, and they have a habit of conceding in the first 10 minutes of a game, and then the other team just deciding to not follow up on it, and then they sort of then gradually grind the other team down. So let's do it.
I would love to take this bet, but unfortunately, my betting stream will not allow me to do this.
You'll save your money this week, Mark, because
I actually had a good week. I had a real good week. That Liverpool game was very good to me.
What'd you get?
Hold on.
Well, what did you bet? What was your bet that you won?
My bet. That's what I'm pulling it up now. I had. This was against Bournemouth. I had over 1.5. The match itself, I think it was 3-0.
I lived for 1-4-0.
No, I had Jota to score. I had 7.5 corners or over, and both teams not to score. Now I got a little when it got to 4-0. I got a little shaky, and I was like, I know how complacency can set in, especially
And Bournemouth can score.
And Bournemouth can score. I did cash out, but I still made 10 times my bet. So I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. We're going with Newport County versus Manchester Red. Okay. Going with Newport to win 1-0. Will Evans, their top scorer. He's got a lot of goals this season for them. And to bump it up a bit, Casemiro's going to get a card out of frustration. And let's be fair,
Wow.
Casemiro.
I gotta say, Casemiro getting a red card out of frustration is a time-proven incident. So I would take that bet immediately.
Doesn't even need to
And
be
that's
red.
just a card.
Yellow.
Yeah, just a card.
A card, exactly.
Even like a business card. If somebody's like, "Hey, I heard you do plumbing as well."
You got a punch card.
Gary, are you able to do
That's
these
very hard.
on your app or whatever it is you use?
Gary muted himself, and I think he muted you because he doesn't want to talk to you.
I talk to Tom all the time. I can do this bet. I can do the first bet. I haven't looked for the second one. Let's see.
Oh no, if you can do the first one, then you'll definitely be able to do the second.
Okay.
What are you using?
I'm in what you call it? FanDuel.
Oh, we have to call it Schmanpool.
Schmanpool.
Because they don't sponsor our show.
Oh, sorry.
I use Craft Pings.
Schmampool, is that like the third season of Schmegadoon?
My master. That's the
Mo
joke.
Master's here.
That's literally the joke, mate. It's their name
that's
from
the
Pro
joke.
Evolution Soccer and the badge that they had in Pro Evolution Soccer.
And you know what? Director John did the research and he put those fucking things up. So big up, Director John.
That's it.
Even if you're not here, he does the work,
Boy,
putting in the work.
That's right.
All he does is twerk, 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 twerk. All right.
Director John, we miss you. Come back to the show. I know you've been busy, but take some time for us. We miss you.
Motherfuckers, I'd rather support the Blackburn Rovers. That's from a famous song called Tottenham Sucks.
I know that song Tottenham Sucks by any chance.
It's never sunny in the dungeon. I'm sorry. It's just never sunny. Never sunny
All right,
in the
Tom,
dungeon.
what do we got here?
Never sunny in the pool room.
Okay. Well, we're going to go with a team. They're not very good, Blackburn, in the Championship. And I say that knowing they've got to come to Ellen Road. So I don't really want to test that fate. They're not doing fantastically well, but they do have a player called Sammy Smodics who has scored a lot of goals. I believe he's currently the top scorer in the Championship. However, Wrexham are going to score first. It's going to be Paul Mullin. The game's going to finish 3-3. It's going to be lots of goals like there usually is with Wrexham in a cup game. Quids in.
Wow, that's not bad there for that many goals. Except for the Paul Mullen scoring first.
That's why it pays more.
And the specificity of 3-3. But, that's some good research put in there. And with all of this wonderful research and this wonderful theory put into all of these bets, we must remind you, the lawyers of On the Stoop with Lolo must remind you, please do not place any of these bets. These bets are all made for fun. And we ask Tom to get the craziest, longest odds bets that he can find that still have some tiene razón. don't know how to say it in English because I'm drinking too much tequila. But they have
It
merit.
could still happen. Yeah.
They have merit. Yeah. It's not gonna happen, but they have merit. And if it does happen, you could turn 1 into 250. But do not place this bet. I'm gonna place this bet. Do not place these bets.
I can't place this bet.
I'll do
The
it
one
for you.
time Mark
I'll take your
and
dollar.
Gary won off one of my bets, though, they had big smiley faces, I can tell you. And they didn't insult me for an entire 4 days.
Yeah, man.
Did we see you for those 4 days? I'm just wondering.
Although none of these games are on Queens, correct?
I don't know. I haven't looked. We may have to go to Spanpool. Or what's the other one? Spet. Yeah. Oh wait, how do you? What's the other one?
I think you got to go to GMG.
Yeah, GMG. Spet GMG.
Spet GMG is probably the better one for
Daft
football.
Queens. That's even better. That's even better, Lonnie. Daft Queens.
Daft Queens.
Love it.
All right. There's $5. $5 wasted.
Yeah.
On my
Okay.
behalf, thank you, Gary.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tom. That was great. Those are great.
Be kind. I always ask every few months. I ask Gary if I've hit the point of like where I have to start feeling guilty now about it not winning because I've been in credit for a long time.
Yes, you have. I still have the money from. It's been a year plus. I don't bet that much, so there you go.
I have been absolutely god awful in all of my bets. Even when I go with like, oh fuck it, I just need a win for like morale's sake, and I'll put $1 on a team like just to win that I know is gonna win, and then they don't win. I'm like, I just can't. I'm gonna put $1 on Arsenal losing every week because that's how bad I'm doing at betting.
Might as
Maybe
well.
Did you bet last week?
You're just gonna lose a ton of money.
John,
but
John in the comments. Sorry, Loke, I'll just quickly answer this. Why I don't put
what about a
Leeds
Leeds bet, Tom? Yeah, you got
the
one?
reason why I do not put Leeds bets on is because when Leeds were in the Premier League, I think this would have been 2 years ago when I was actually putting Leeds in the betting in darks. It hurt twice because I'd be like, Leeds are going to win, and then they didn't win. So then I lost on that, and they lost. So
yeah,
I pick games where, like, if it don't win, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Arsenal were so lucky not to draw Madrid, and I think you've got your teams reversed.
Yeah, they don't want none of this. They don't want none of this.
Madrid.
I wouldn't exactly.
First
be
and foremost,
to be
we were
playing
top
Porto.
of our. Madrid was top of their table, right? Yeah, Madrid was top of their table. So was Arsenal. So there's no luck involved.
I want you to be right,
There's no chance they would fucking play each other. So get off me, Mo. We're gonna see you soon, Mo Master, and you're gonna see the Basque vampire will with his Lego haircut is gonna do some work against you.
We struggle with Olympiacos, Sporting. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It's Europe.
Okay, well.
I want to ask. Hell no.
I want to ask Tom.
Winning
I want
the
to ask
Champions
Mr.
League.
Tom this. You say you're not betting the Leeds. That's fine. They're playing Plymouth. Do both teams score?
No.
I'm gonna say yes.
All right. I'm gonna go with both teams scoring.
I still think we'll win. But the reality is we get very, I don't want to say defensively lax, that might upset people, but a lot of the goals we concede do come towards the end of each half. And it feels very, we're letting a lot of needless goals at times where the game would have changed a lot if we just hadn't done that. And,
right.
But we should comfortably win. And partly because it doesn't matter if we do or don't, because you don't get promoted for winning the FA Cup. So,
right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
but a
trying to
cup
put
is a
together a
cup.
little something on Leeds, and it's not nearly the payout, this exciting payout, but it pays 3-1. I have Leeds to beat Plymouth. I have Patrick Bamford to score because he's the hot hand right now. Why not? Why not take Patrick Bamford, Lord Patrick Bamford? I've got over 1.5 goals for the match. Both teams scoring 7.5 corners plus.
There's no point in putting 1.5 in if you've done both teams to score, because then that has
Well,
to happen.
he said no.
Oh, you're right.
Both teams not scoring.
Both score.
Or no,
both teams
scoring?
not.
Yeah,
Both teams
1.5
scoring, Tom?
won't
Is that
even
what you
play.
said?
Yeah, if
Is
you
that
do
what you
both
said,
teams to
Tom?
score, there's no point.
All right, hold on. Let me
It's all
back
right.
that
You're
out.
on Gary's
That's
channel.
different.
Gary's
Let
a
me back
member
that
of our
out. So
family.
it would be, if both teams score, that would be 2.5.
You could watch on both channels, Colonel Ward. Don't worry, man. Mark, can I just tell you something, though? Can I just say the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, Leeds United have given up 1 goal. They've kept 4 clean sheets in 5 matches.
See, that's what
That's
I'm
all
saying.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That was against Norwich, Cardiff, Peterborough, and Birmingham that they kept clean sheets. Preston scored a goal.
Preston scored in the first minute.
Yeah, in the first minute, which is also a weird thing. So really probably should have kept a clean sheet, because you kept a clean sheet for 90 minutes.
So just back at it, Tom. Both teams will score in Leeds and Plymouth.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're not. They're not going to score.
I don't
Leeds
know
got
enough
this
about
1-0.
Plymouth.
This is 1-0.
But I'll put it this way: Leeds went 2-0 up against Plymouth, and Plymouth scored in the league game earlier in the season. We won 2-1. I'm surprised it's taken Mo Master 3 years to do that, to try and imply that.
Just say that. Yeah, for real. This is the longest. Leeds fans should pick a second team this year. I suggest the other team, white team in Spain. Mo Master, I don't know if you know this, but the reason Leeds United wear white is because of Real Madrid. And I know this Leeds United history without being a crazy Leeds United fan. You, as a Real Madrid fan, should know this. No? It was the manager who did that was
Don Reevy.
Revy. Yeah. For some reason, Klopp wouldn't get out of my head, and I'm like, no, you're not who I'm thinking of. Anyway, Leeds United, Mark, the reason they both might score, though, is because Leeds United are terrible at cups, at the cup play. In the past 10 or 15 years or so, is all I'm saying.
Go ahead, go with those odds.
You remember when they played in somebody's backyard a couple years ago? They played in somebody's backyard. There were like people like hanging their laundry, watching the game at Marine, and they lost. Yeah,
right,
that's the Leeds United that we're betting on.
That the Jurgen Klopp cardboard cutout.
I thought we were betting on the Leeds United that was spotted 6 points by Wolves. Yeah.
Oh my God. For the first time ever, I realized I am below the first floor bathroom. Somebody needs to go to the doctor. Oh, Jesus. Oh my.
All this time in the basement, and that's your first time? Oh, there's something wrong with there's something wrong with the pipes, man.
The pipes.
With the pipes.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the FA Cup since we're talking FA Cup already. Let me ask you guys, as watchers of the English people, what does the FA Cup mean? What does it fucking mean? Is it this glory thing of like, oh, what a beautiful thing we do? We let everybody play. Anyone can win. It seems kind of like the lottery of like anyone can become a millionaire. Does it ever happen? Is it really a thing? Is it really that big of a thing to get to the later rounds and play against a Liverpool and Arsenal and get on TV? Do you get much money? Like why does the FA Cup matter to you guys? Gary says pass.
I just think, like you said, everybody gets a chance, and yes, if you make it into these later stages, it's pretty cool to be able to play in them and play against some of the teams that you would never have a chance. So I think it's good. I think they're not doing a good job about pushing it out there. I think they should. It is. I think it's kind of cool that all the teams get to play. I don't have that much of a history like a lot of people do about it, but I believe it's good for the league. They just don't push it enough, and that's the league's problem. That's the league's problem. They only look at certain things to push, and they forget about this. English football isn't just 20 teams.
But Gary, this weekend there's no Premier League. It's FA Cup. Premier League is played on a Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday this week. Isn't that pushing? Isn't that pushing it?
No, what I mean, like
because we have to watch
the word
FA Cup
and the message weekend. And stuff like that. That's what I mean. They need to push it more.
The message.
Yeah.
The message. Yeah.
I think it becomes like an interesting competition based on the fact that the fan base can go, no matter how delusional they are, they can say, we can win that one too. We have a chance just like everyone, and we're going to fight hard and we're going to do all the things. I mean, I don't even know who's still in it, but I mean, it unfortunately ends up being just the same 6 clubs that are vying for that particular trophy. I mean, the last 8 or the last 4 years, it's Arsenal, Leicester, Liverpool, City, United, and Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, usually when it comes down to it, but a big thing about it, Mark, is that just getting to the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, just being on television gets those clubs so much money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's worth it. Yes, they want to win it, but
I don't think we're looking at this as far as like a club perspective. I think we're looking at this as a fan perspective, and it for some, heading into that third round and being a lesser squad is, oh yeah, we have a chance to win it. For me as a neutral, and in my team, Wolves are still in it. They play West Brom on Sunday. They're still in it. But for me as a neutral, I look at it as this. It gives me an opportunity to watch it gives me the potential to watch a match that's not going to be affected by VAR. And I really love that. The game becomes just a little more pure. When I'm watching 2 lesser squads and there's a iffy penalty or an iffy foul, and the referees aren't allowed, they're not going to be able to hide behind VAR.
But hold on, is that the case? Is it no VAR 100%, or is it both teams have to have VAR capabilities at their stadium?
If it's at a stadium whose team has not been in the Premier League,
doesn't have VAR, yeah,
or I think it's just Premier League teams.
But like today, Tottenham played Man City. Did they have VAR?
Absolutely, they probably did.
Okay,
I did.
So it's not. It's not.
But like Leeds.
So that hold on. Just to clarify what I'm saying. What I'm trying to clarify is, the FA Cup is not a competition that is no VAR, like the championship. The championship is no VAR, even though Leeds United have the ability to use VAR because they. So I'm just clarifying. I wanted to know. I didn't know.
Let me give you the example. So West Brom, not a Premier League team, versus Wolves, Premier League team at West Brom. There will be no VAR.
Gotcha.
Which I don't quite understand because West Brom should be
they were
fitted
for VAR
because they used to be in the Premier League. But my understanding is there will not be VAR involved. Rovers and Wrexham, VAR should not be involved in that. And I guess for me as a neutral who never got to see that, gets to see kind of football in like this more purer form where it's just like, this is my decision and you're stuck with it. You know?
Yeah, Mark. No, I feel you. I like that. And when I'm watching Leeds United matches, because they're the only team I watch in the championship, there is that sense of purity of like, no, fuck it. Make the call. Either make the call or don't make the call. Moving on. Let's go.
Right.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, these games do matter, you know, for that very reason.
With that, Mr. Tom. Oh, sorry, Mark.
I'm sorry. You know, back to the original question, does the trophy matter? To me, no, but I was at the pub and there was a number of boys wearing all sorts of different shirts from English football. And I think this was just after we did the show with Dave at Leeds or not at Liverpool Football Club chat. And I was just like, hey, you know, we posed the question on the show. I'm going to pose the question with you guys. Does it matter? And they were all like, absolutely. Absolutely, we care about this. And I felt it kind of, it was interesting to see like the different dynamic, you know, where it's like, we don't necessarily here in the States don't see it as that important, but they were all for it. They're like, no, man, we don't stand a chance to win much more than this. And so therefore we are throwing ourselves full force into it.
Absolutely. Well, and Mark, and that's the problem of quote unquote big clubs where you have the likes of Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, teams like that, when they fall out of the FA Cup, like we did, or the Carabao Cup, and you go, it doesn't matter. Yes, it fucking does, because you're not going to catch City. You're not going to catch Liverpool. You're not going to win the fucking Champions League. Like, let's be honest. Win the cups you can win.
Right.
Win.
And I think with that said,
cups.
it goes into that it's very easy for like the top 6 clubs when they get knocked out of these competitions to go, well, you know, we've got bigger fish to fry. We're in the Champions,
and then they finish 4th.
We're in the Champions League, and we're vying for a top 4 spot here. All the things. These are clubs, your Lutons, your Leeds, your Wolves, who aren't ever, you know, they're not going to have that to fall back upon to where it doesn't matter anymore because, you know, we've got bigger fish to fry. No, this is the big fish.
So here we go, Mark. In the summer, 1 month, 4 games, as small amount as we can, but we have from the Kansas City Chiefs all the way down to the UTEP Miners. We have Crescent City Community College football team. They play one big tournament, winner take all, champions of America. Like, to me, if we did something like that, or if we did like every baseball team, even the Pee Wee teams, y'all can compete. Like, you're going to be playing months before the big guys ever play. But like, imagine like some like 15-year-olds just beating the shit out of people, going on up and like getting on national television. They're not going to win it, but they're going to get some ad money. They're gonna get some. Their team's gonna get money, and it's gonna bring up the game. So I love what the FA Cup represents. I think you're spot on that the Premier League is not promoting its message. Not that they're not promoting the games. They should be pounding that message of anyone can win. This is the one. This is the cup. This is the cup that is of the people, by the people, for the people, right? It's their soapbox one. It should
Sure.
be.
I can see that. I mean, it is the
Somebody, Alonzo,
somebody else
I don't
chime
know
in.
if you
I've
know
been
our
talking
show,
way
but
too
you
much,
have to.
you know?
We don't cede time here, so if you want to talk, you kind of gotta steamroll over us.
Right. So I mean, here in the States, right? As an Arsenal fan, right? You always want your club to do well, but you always look for those upsets. And I think it was 2021, whenever Leicester beat Chelsea, and that was a pretty good result, even for an FA Cup championship game or match final rather. So I look forward to that. But if it's like a City versus Liverpool or City versus whomever else, right? Whoever the league leaders are, it's like watching another Premier League match to me. And though I bring up a story that my friend and I were going to a barbecue place, one of the best barbecue places in Texas. And it's about maybe
Which one?
It's called, God, I forgot what it's called now, dude, but it was a while
I'm
back.
from Texas, so come on, man.
It was in Lexington, Texas.
Okay,
Kind
that's legit. That's
of by
legit.
Austin.
That's legit.
So my friend read it in Texas Monthly, right? So he was like, all right, let's go early in the morning. Let's go drive down there so the kind of barbecue to have. Well, we waited like maybe 5 hours before we got a plate. Well, in that line, I met a fellow Arsenal supporter. So we found a place to watch the FA Cup game, and it was a 2017 game with Chelsea. And we stayed to the very end of the game, and I was like, man, this is so cool because they won. That's how much it meant to me as a fan of an Arsenal fan watching for the final against Chelsea. And that match, Chelsea were heavily favored, and Arsenal won 2-1. And I thought to myself, man, this is crazy. I was not going to miss that game. And so it meant a lot to me watching that match with my friend and fellow Arsenal supporter who I met that day. So it meant a lot, So
I remember that day. I remember that day because Christian Pulisic was destroying us. He was absolutely cutting us to shit. I was in Spain, in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere, watching on my brother-in-law's cell phone bootleg, watching it. Pulisic breaks his leg.
this was 2017.
Yeah. 2017. That was
2020. Yeah.
2020 was the
COVID. No fans in stadium at Wembley.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, different one. But Chelsea, I forgot we beat Chelsea twice.
So Rob Holding played. I think it was the middle center back position. No, and then it was Murder's first game back from an injury because we were so short. We were so short-handed because Monreal got hurt and Gabriel Batista got hurt, and so we were short center backs. And Murder came in, had a great game. Holding came on, had a great game too. I believe Monreal was healthy that game, but we were missing Koscielny and Batista. That's what it was. So we were short, very thin at the center back. So we played 3 at the back, and that was an awesome game. That was a brilliant game.
Yeah, man. Tom, does the FA Cup matter?
What question was you going to ask me 20 minutes ago?
Me?
He just asked
Yeah.
you.
You started to ask me a question, and then Mark jumped in, and then it went off.
Oh, what were we talking about? Which accent was I using?
I think we were talking
I
about
think
the
I
FA
think it was
Cup.
your Lolo accent.
I think it is whether or not the FA
Never
Cup
heard of that.
matters.
Mr. Tom, did I ask you a question? I don't remember.
He was going
Roll the
to.
tape back.
Mr. Tom,
It-
does
it-
the FA Cup matter to you?
Oh, does the FA Cup matter to me? The institution of it matters to me, as in my team's only won it once, and it never happened when I was alive. So it to me, I'm just used to, are we going to go out sooner rather than later kind of thing. I'm more used to the crushing disappointments of losing matches we probably shouldn't and things like this. But it matters to me that it's a tournament which has no favourites in it in this context. And what I mean by that is it's not seeded. It's not laid out in a way where they want the final to obviously be Man United versus Manchester City. Like if Liverpool get Arsenal in first round or third round, tough shit. That's the match that's going to happen.
Right.
Whereas the Champions League actively tries to avoid these sort of matches at the earlier stages. That's what makes this competition special. It doesn't give a fuck who you are. If you win, you're in.
Speaking of that, like, what is up with this? Of like, if you look at the FA Cup, like, you have Nottingham Forest. They're a Premier League team. They're playing Bristol City. Tottenham, what are they called? Tottenham Hotspur.
That team.
Yeah. Sorry,
I think they're known as the Hot Spurts.
They're in the Premier League, right? They played
Yeah.
Man City. Like, how is that fair? Bournemouth played Swansea, but Chelsea played Aston Villa. Like, that's not fucking. We played Liverpool in the round before. Like, that's not cool.
Of course it is. It's very cool.
So I mean,
It's-
so what do you
it's the
want?
fairest
You want
way.
a nice little clear spot to the semifinals with no competition?
Yes. I deserve it.
No.
I have been here
I
for a
honest-
long time. I have been winning matches all the time. I do
Here's-
not
here's-
have to
I
go
mean-
to. I play Liverpool like twice a year. Why do I have to go in the special tournament?
Yeah. No, I mean, and as somebody said, it does. There's a way to help. You win, you move up, you make more money. It helps those teams that are on a budget. The deeper they go, the more money they get. I mean, because they're not like they don't want to spread it out, but they want you to work for it. Okay, get it. So why not? So you work for it. You go deep in the cup. You get paid more. That is a way for them to give back. Even though I kind of feel like they should be, spreading that money down so the league, support. Like, yes, you are making the most money because you're in the Premier League, but some of that money should trickle down because that's how all of this thing started. This is how all this thing is built. I mean, teams
Trickle down
can.
economics. That's what we're talking about. Trickle down.
Money. Just some of that money should. I mean, and teams can.
Fair enough.
Teams can use that money to move up and move up and move up, and then you got your Lutons, right? I mean, Luton may have benefited from playing in this. It's the only way to make a little extra money outside of winning their leagues. Winning the league. So
I don't know. I mean, it still suffers from the same kind of the same sort of issue that the Premier League or any other top of the league. It's always the same players. Or I'm sorry, it's always the same teams. It's always the same teams. It's always your Chelseas and your Cities and your United and Arsenal and blah, 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 blah. Beyond being the casual fan that wants to see the competition and meet teams that I've never met before, it's like I've never seen Plymouth play. I will watch Leeds and Plymouth. I'll see, but for me, I think maybe instead of it being this opportunity for teams, as much as it is the opportunity for players to be put on a higher showcase and maybe hope to be brought on by a, by a Newcastle, by an Arsenal, by whoever. It's like, oh, wow, man, that guy had a fantastic FA Cup. He scored 5 goals in 3 games. Maybe we should look at him for the transfer window. And that's where it is this opportunity, not for teams to make money, but for players to make money that might not ever have an opportunity to play on a bigger stage.
I mean, I think I think it's everything about it, including that getting the showcase, as you said. Yeah, you don't even have to really go out and scout teams sometimes because they're gonna come play you, or you're gonna go play them. So,
right,
like I said, the message should be louder. It should be louder. Everybody should want to see this thing. It should be, it's that for me. It's like that first weekend of March Madness. Everybody will sit down and watch every game they can. Right? You have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the games. Do the same thing with the FA Cup. Everybody said that's when they used to just sit down and watch games. Right?
Right.
They should definitely do that. And maybe it should be more on the weekends when more people can watch it. Right? As opposed to these midweek games, right? Maybe they should say, you know what, Premier League, you guys play in a midweek. What it's for everyone, so why not?
I think here in the States they do a pretty poor job of advertising it. I think once it went to the ESPN Plus format and having the final on ESPN Plus,
that's rough.
Not everyone has access to ESPN Plus. But
that's an elite one, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember back whenever I started watching football or English football, it was where the best way to watch those games were on Fox Soccer Channel, which may sound corny, but it was how we watched it here in the States. Mm-hmm. And it was up until before the deal that was made with the FA and ESPN Plus were the league. The FA Cup final was always on the Fox local station, as was the Champions League final was always on the Fox local channel. In Houston, it was Fox 26, and here in Houston. Though I don't know where you guys had it there, but for some reason it went away from that. And I think also here in the States, before it got big, was ESPN3.com. Which wasn't bad either.
I can tell you the level of prestige the FA Cup used to carry. What it is simply put, in a lot of countries, and let's say a lot of influential countries, if you are on TV there, let's just say, it was the only football match that would be shown on television in America. It was the only football match that would be shown on television in Australia and things like this. And so it was massive for the clubs long term to be exposed in these countries. For example, part of the reason why Arsenal are a huge international brand is because they were on TV in the FA Cup final a lot of times, in a time when that was the only way you'd be on TV in footballing terms. Because outside of the World Cup and stuff, they'd only show the FA Cup final. They were like, we ain't showing this crappy first division football in 1980 when it's constantly just hooligans all around the place and stuff like this. Just
right.
Again, I've said it before, Russell Crowe supports Leeds United because he watched the 1972 FA Cup final. And we won it against Arsenal, but that's not the important thing. But the point is that he's just a high-profile example of how a lot of people got exposed to football.
Right. It's interesting to kind of hear those sort of stories and and see how teams are being exposed to the world and how the world is being exposed to teams. Football with Brownie, he's saying, my friend Wolves were minutes away from bankruptcy when they were in the old 4th division in the FA Cup games, kept them the bigger team against bigger teams, and it saved them. Know your history, he says to me. I would love to know that history, but unfortunately, the access that I have on this side of the ocean, I don't necessarily. I got to dig pretty deep to find that, and my history with this club that was bestowed upon me. It doesn't include that history.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
moving on.
Mark,
But,
we're talking about fucking ESPN Plus and shit like that to watch the FA Cup in 2020 fucking 4.
Exactly.
Oh my god, what the hell? If we're talking in 92, like, no, my god, no.
Don't think it was quite. I think it was actually sooner than 92. I think it was in the early 2000s, but I'm not really sure because I
Well, listen, Brownie, you want to jump on the chat? Here you go. I sent you the link. Boom, there's the link. You want to jump on the chat and school us? Let's do it. Don't be scared.
That's it.
Don't be scared.
That's it.
The link is in the chat there for anybody who wants to join us for a little bit of an early after party. Go ahead and click that link, but I'm not going to let you on unless you have headphones and I can see your face. All right, so
you sure you want to do that? It is Brownie.
I don't know who that is, so let's do it.
When you see it, you'll know.
Who knows? As long as you're watching our channel, that's all that matters to me.
Yep.
To be perfectly honest,
Vince McMahon just resigned.
Yeah, as he should, because that's some skanky fucking allegations going against him, and I can't wait to tune in to the next episode of the Fool Nelson.
It's gonna be a big night. Tell him, Mr. Tom.
So I can hear all the conjecture on that scumbag, who's a man that I thought was a scumbag back in the 80s before he even considered becoming any sort of celebrity. Vince McMahon, when I was watching wrestling, was not someone that spent a lot of time in front of the camera. He was behind the scenes. He produced a good product. He was this mythical character, and I liked it that way. And the more and more he came forward was the more and more that I thought he was just an absolute fucking scumbag. So nothing delights me more to know that he was, doing shady shit, which I will not go into.
Mark, the thing is that he has a hard time letting go. He resigned like 9 months ago, but he can't let go because he has so much power that he just,
now.
Now.
I mean, none now, but honestly, he may have been
diabolical.
Okay, maybe not but one of the most powerful sports figures in the world today, up until a few weeks ago. Vince McMahon built a fucking empire that is now worth hundreds of billions of dollars.
Crazy, man.
So I didn't mean to derail it, the show. But it's quite big news. If you remotely read the text he sent.
Who?
Fucking disgusting.
Who? What are you talking about?
Allegations.
Vince McMahon of
Vince McMahon. Never mind. Sorry, I thought you guys moved back to football. I had zoned out while you guys were talking Vince McMahon. Now there's.
I did laugh when Mark said the word shit though, because I thought, he knows what he did.
I got an idea. Much of America has got a pretty good idea.
Yesterday, I promised Gary that I wouldn't make a joke about Vince McMahon shitting on people.
How long
for 24 hours. It take? I lasted 17 minutes.
Then I came in and you reminded everyone what I was going to see because I hadn't read it yet.
Yep. pretty
Crazy, man.
I
nasty
know I should
stuff.
sit here and say allegedly, but I think the fact that he's resigned probably shows that he may have done that.
Yeah, we'll get to go to what is it called? The country club. Basically, and
Yes, sir.
Wait, did he die? He didn't die.
No, he didn't die.
What happened to this?
No.
What are we
disappeared.
talking about?
You might
What
be going-
we're
misconduct.
talking about is the fact that we have 21 people, as far as I can see, watching our show right now. We only have 14 likes. So if 7
That's
you
crazy.
lazy motherfuckers want to
Let
step
me
it
see,
up
Did I even
and
like it? I
show
don't
us
think I liked
and
it.
show us that you're out there, give us
I
7
don't
more
like
likes,
it,
everyone.
Joe.
Get us up to 21. And if anyone wants to buy us beer, because Gary's looking thirsty over there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Send us a little donation. We'd really appreciate it. We went from Klopp to FA Cup to betting in the dark to now.
Okay, so
You're a scumbag, McMahon.
the question that I have for you guys as I finish my tequila bottle, this was given to me by a Barca fan.
At
So
Christmas.
Is it the same one you had the last time, or what's going on?
yeah, it lasted 2 happy hours.
Oh, I thought you
That's
finished
about
it
right.
the first time.
No. I could have, but no. So let me ask you guys. I know I said we were done talking about Klopp and all that, but let me ask you guys for our final question of the evening. So Klopp is essentially quitting his job by saying, "I'm tired. I can't keep doing this." Have you ever quit from a job by saying you're tired and you just can't keep doing this?
Absolutely.
You have, Mark. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. I have gotten to the point.
Hold on, Mark. We
where-
have Vince McMahon backstage.
Yes.
Are you
It's all
kidding
lies.
me?
I'm telling you now, it's lies, god damn it, lies. I built that company with my bare hands, god damn it.
Why are you sounding like Bane?
All lies.
No one took me serious until I put the mask
born
on.
in the ring.
Listen to
No
me,
one
pal.
took me serious
Listen to
until
me,
I
guys.
put the
If
mask
you keep mentioning
on.
my name, I'll sue you.
Well, he's gone now, so
God, I want that to be Director John.
yeah. Honestly, I don't know who that was, but I let them on the show. That's how you know the bar is low, folks. Click the link.
And the fact
Mark.
that he had like a Vince
You didn't see the
McMahon-
person's face. How do you know?
That
I know
was
who it
Vince
is.
McMahon. We know who that was.
Oh, is that who it
It
was?
was
He's
Vince
not- he's-
McMahon, clearly.
He's
Where is he
not-
calling?
no,
Where
he's
is he?
still on the
Where is
internet.
he calling us from?
He
Is
was
he-
on 20 minutes ago. He was still on the computer. It's fine.
Oh, okay. That man should not be anywhere near a computer.
Who are you talking about?
Actually, if he's near a computer, he's not near actual humans.
That is probably
So
true.
for their safety,
I want to hope that was Stan the Man, because he's an actor and he's got like, he's just
Stan would never do that. Stan never does that.
that's definitely not Stan. Definitely not Stan. It's not the Arsenal luchador either.
There you go.
well, whoever it was
Or
out
Sean
there,
Dyche.
it was
Sean Dyche sometimes. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That would mean Sean Dyche watches our show, and that would make me. I could die now. I could die the fact that Sean Dyche watches our show.
He does.
And I would just call it quits, because that would be bigger to me than when we went to England and had people walk up to us and go, "I've seen you. You're those boys from Brooklyn."
Yeah, you know, I heard,
Which was
I heard some-
fantastic. But if Sean Dyche watched our show, it would just be, I would be over the moon.
I think
So,
one
Sean,
thing.
if you're watching out there,
No, I think one thing that Klopp has done is one, I think they just got the word out because it was going to get out anyways. But I also think they can now go out and figure out who they want to bring in. And make do that kind of research and actually get the word out, and maybe even have that manager ready to go, because he hasn't left them in a bad state. If Salah leaves, yeah, they drop a little bit. They will have to go out there and get a big time player. But if he stays around for another year, they can do a little transition thing if they need to. But yeah, no, I think he's done. You know what? You want to go out this way than what you see a lot of times, people getting pushed out, right? It's better to walk out than get dragged out. And
Sure.
He's walking out. So you know what?
Yeah.
If you have a chance to just walk, like I always go back to the Michael Jordan shot in the finals. That should have been the way he walked off, right? You walk
with
you
a little shrug,
and you just walk off the court. And you never come back again. But he couldn't. People always want to come back, and then they always get dragged out, or
Right.
craziness happens. So I think he's doing it the right way. You know what? Once you feel like you're done, you're done. You were already done before you even thought it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
coming. Now you said it. Well, you know what? He's done, and then the team knows it, and the team can go work on whoever the next guy is. And it sounds like he's just taking his time. Some people think to go take the Germany job anyways. So that might be another option for him. Right, it's a lot less stressful in terms of the day-to-day that you have in the league. So there you go. And Germany needs a good manager, and there you go. So I think he's better.
Klopp's not gonna be the mine shaft. He's not gonna run Germany. No, he's not a national team manager.
I don't know what he is. He can do whatever he wants. They're letting go the entire staff, right? So nobody in there is even
I
considered
wouldn't
next
say
up,
they're
right?
letting go of the entire staff. I think the entire staff is going with him, and that is what makes me think there's something up.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's something much like the situation of when he was with Dortmund, and he was like, I'm tired, and I, don't know if I have the passion for this. And then like 4 months later, he takes the Liverpool job.
Yeah. I was going to say we saw the same thing.
I'm not really sure where the job is that he will go to. I do believe him when he says, I won't coach another English team.
Yeah.
Does he take the German national team? I'm not really sure. I don't necessarily see him getting. I don't see him going back to Dortmund. I don't see him getting Bayern. I don't know where he goes from here, but it just smells like there's something.
I was just going to say the same thing happened to Arsenal women. The manager there was leaving, needed time away for whatever reasons. It sounded like it was family reasons at the time. A month or two later, he's the head coach at Juventus. So there you go.
Yep.
And I don't know if he let that known before the season ended or not. But when you still got it going, I think he's still got it. Maybe he doesn't want. Maybe you know what? Maybe he's been talking to the same people over and over again. He's ready for a change. He's given them what 9 years, 9 years. That's a lot in this day and age. Not too many managers make it past 3. So he's you know what? Like I said, go out, walk out, as opposed to get pushed
getting dragged out. Absolutely.
Well, taking your advice, Gary, let's walk out and not get dragged out. It is the end of the show. It is time to go. We put the link in the comments. If you guys want to hang out with us for a few minutes backstage, click the link. We'll be back there. We'll be hanging out. We've already got some people in the waiting rooms. Bono, Jeanette, good to see you. We'll see you in just a second. Let's close out this show. Much love, Alonzo, Mr. Tom, Gary, Mark.
Take us home.
Great show, everybody. Great
Or 10
show.
a.m. on the road trip.
Good to see you
I hope
guys.
all of your teams win tomorrow. That's a weird thing for me to say. I hope all of your teams win tomorrow. That's only Wolves and Leeds. So there you go. Peace out
We
from
play
Brooklyn,
on
you guys.
Sunday.
We'll see you guys later in the week with more content. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that nonsense. Blah, 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 blah.